Hi everyone. So I am La Haitian Atheist, and today I just want to talk about a couple of things, right? And I also want to talk about, well, not talk about, but I guess just tell you what I will also be discussing in future videos, right? So today I want to talk about who I am and why I became an atheist, how I became an atheist, and how I came out to my family about being an atheist, right? And then later on, we'll talk about subjects that I will bring up in future videos. So, I am a Black, Caribbean, Haitian atheist, right? And there's not that many of us out there, right? First of all, there's not that many Black atheists out there, especially Caribbean and especially Haitian. Definitely not a lot of Haitian atheists out there. Very, very small number. And I guess I should start with how I came out to my family. I was 18 when I came out, and I came out to my mother. And I told her that I was an atheist. She didn't know what that meant, so I explained it to her. And she obviously did not accept it at first because Caribbean mothers are very religious. And my mom, she's more religious now than she was then, but she was still religious then. And, she, till this day, she, I guess, tries to respect it, but she has slip ups a lot, and will say things like, oh, well, I'm gonna pray for you, or, you just don't know the truth and whatnot. So I can tell she doesn't really fully respect it. She'll never accept it, but I can tell she doesn't fully respect it. And so, I told her, and we had a conversation about it. Then I told the rest of my family, right? I told my uncle. I was actually really scared to tell my uncle because at the time he was the most religious person in our family. And I say at the time because pretty much within the last few years, my mom has surpassed him tenfold with being the most religious person in our family. And so, I told him, and then, my aunt as well, and my brother, and, everyone else in the family. As for my younger cousins, I didn't necessarily tell them because they were pretty little, when they were there part of that conversation, and they grew up with me being an atheist. So there wasn't really anything to tell. They're very used to it. It's like nothing to them because I've always been this way since they were little. And so, I felt a lot better, honestly, after coming out. But, still there's that backlash to deal with. And how I came to the conclusion of me not believing in not just a Christian God, but really any God, I don't know a lot about other religions. I don't. But, you know, I may not know the history behind other religions and whatnot, but, I have not seen any kind of proof because I would figure that no matter what religion, anywhere, that if a god, any of their gods, had actually come down to earth and, you know, showed that they, can do whatever it is that, the people who believe them say they can do. I I mean, I know that that news would spread like wildfire. It really would. And so, that just I've never ever seen that happen. So, it really doesn't matter which religion it is. Like, absolutely nothing of the sort has ever happened, right? No God, no deity has came down. And so for me, when I left religion, I just knew. I just knew that there has not been any evidence to prove that there actually is a God that exists. And so my thought process was more of a philosophical thought process of how I came to be an atheist. And by philosophical, meaning that, you can take a scenario in the Bible and I would pretty much break it down, give you another scenario that was parallel to the one in the Bible, right? To the story in the Bible, and then break it down into a series of parts and ask you, would you be okay with this and that and this and that, right? I'll give you a quick example, with the story of Adam and Eve, right? So he made all the trees, but there's that one tree that they couldn't eat. And, Satan had tempted Eve to eat it. And, therefore the downfall of humankind, right? Okay. So, I would probably break that down and I would ask something like, does God eat? A lot of the times I get no. Then I would be like, why does he need a tree? Uh, you know, and then I'll break it down even further and I'll say, well, then if God knew that Satan was going to wreak havoc on the world, why did he create him in the first place? And why doesn't he kill him? He has absolutely no problem with murdering a bunch of people, right, in the flood, but he doesn't kill Satan and he made him exist anyway, despite, him being all knowing, so he knew that he would wreak havoc. I would ask questions like, after the first time that they sinned, why didn't he forgive them? Why didn't he give them a second chance? Have them continue to, have their immortality, right? Continue to not know what suffering is and whatnot. And, I will break it down like that. And that's what I mean by philosophical sense, right? And, that's how I pretty much thought about it when I first left religion. And that's how I think about it now when I'm talking with people who are religious, right? With believers. I that's pretty much how I, go about that and whatnot. And so, that's I would say that's a pretty quick story on how I came to be an atheist. A little bit, about right my background, and so my thought process on how I scrutinize religion. And so I think for next time I want to talk about why, as a black woman, as a Caribbean, right, black woman, why we should leave religion. That's really what I want to talk about in my next video. I want to talk about, you know, you like how is leaving, like the reasons for leaving religion different for, depending on your race and depending on your gender, right? So I think that will be a good topic, right, for next time. So if you guys could please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below about the questions that I asked in regards to breaking down the scenario of the Garden of Eden. Let me know how I could better break down those questions, or if you agree, or if you're a believer and you have answers to those questions. All right, catch you next time.